One does not have to think very hard to affirm that Postman is dead on, considering the amount of money spent every year on commercials in these different realms, most especially sports and politics. I personally do not need a commercial to determine my vote one way or the other, but the general American public does. Yes, television commercials have become the guiding principles by which Americans make decisions, and the one that masters this craft or spends the most money on it controls the thinking of the masses because their decisions are not based on the test of truth but on emotional appeal. As Postman asserts, the television commercial is not at all about the character of the products to be consumed. It is about the character of the consumers of the products. The same attitude, unfortunately, pervades the church today. Evangelism is no longer about the equity of the product it offers, but about the character of the consumer of the product. In this case, the color of the skin. For example, the evangelism of the white church somehow skips the black people year after year, while the evangelism of the black church attracts black people for the sole purpose of extorting money from them. There are some exceptions, of course. The result is that truth is not absolute anymore in Christendom, but relative. No particular action is right or wrong. It all depends on who does it or to what group he or she belongs. While learning and an interest in something are beneficial, there is no correlation between education and entertainment. Education, on the one hand, requires cognitive activities, thinking conceptually or rigorously takes effort to acquire knowledge, and entertainment feeds on the emotions by providing essential pleasures that suits the emotions. One one requires effort and work and the other does not. Education also requires sequence and continuity, and emotions do not. He also talks about the three commandments which make all this possible. One, thou shalt have no prerequisites. Every television program must be a complete package in itself. No previous knowledge required. Two, thou shalt induce no perplexity. You do not have to remember anything, study or apply or endure anything. Lastly, number three, thou shalt avoid exposition like the 10th place visited on Egypt. No arguments, hypotheses, discussion, reasons, or refutations. I do agree with Postman that we should emphasize Huxley rather than Orwell in trying to understand the plight of the American culture because he is right by saying that, quote, everything in our background has prepared us to know and resist appraising when the gates begin to close around us, unquote. But what we are not prepared for is the destruction of our culture by entertainment, by feeling and fielding our emotions and taking away our ability to think. Dr. Moore ended his first chapter with a quote from Professor Caroline King, who said, quote, but how can we revive interest in the act of thinking? The best place to start will be in homes and churches of our land, unquote. And for the church, it couldn't be any clearer. The church should take the lead in the transformation of our society from the empty self. As Christians, we are mandated to study to show ourselves approved. Study is about acquiring knowledge, and Moreland gave three kinds of knowledge. Knowledge by acquaintance. This is being directly aware of something. Through propositional knowledge. This is based on the fact that something or the proposition is true. And three, know how. This is the ability to do certain things. Knowledge involves developing the mind because it plays a vital role in cognitive activities. Finally, Dr. Moreland suggests 6 steps to overcoming the empty self. 1. Admit the problem. 2. Choose to be different. 3. Change your routine. 4. Develop patience and endurance. 5. Develop a good vocabulary. And 6. Set some intellectual goals. Postman is right by agreeing with Huxley that our quest for entertainment has taken away our ability to think. Television is not evil or wrong, but a problem is with the kind of programming or quality of, of it on television. One way to combat this is to produce good quality programs that will not just entertain but challenge the viewers by asking thoughts provoking questions that make the viewers to reflect and engage their thought process, and this might be the good place to start. Next, the church can start to produce print materials again and get its members and affiliates reading and gradually taking it to the communities. The Jehovah Witnesses are doing it and it's working, and the church needs to start anew and commit. Thank you.